Hello friends, my name is PRANIT from 11th batch 2. Today I am here to present a PPT on sweet and simple topic that is interest. So we will discuss what is interest. Interest is the amount to be paid on the borrowed money or the amount received on the money lent. So let us discuss importance of interest in finance. Interest rates determine the cost of borrowing money or the money on lending capital. Investors consider interest rates when making investment decisions. This point is very important in the point of view of businessman because if if the interest rates are if the interest rates are higher, so businessmen have to pay a huge interest on the borrowed money. If the interest rates are less, so businessmen have to pay less interest on borrowed money. So businessmen prefer less interest. Interest is classified into two types, that is simple interest and compound interest. Firstly, we will discuss what is simple interest. When the what is simple interest? When the interest is calculated only on the principal for every year, it is called simple interest. So simple interest is calculated only on principal. It's called simple interest. We have a small formula for simple interest, that is I is equals to, means simple interest is equals to PRT upon 100, where P is principal, R is rate of interest, and T is time. Principal means capital. We have capital, the money we have borrowed from a bank. Rate of interest, bank has given us specified rate of interest to us. And time means on how many for how many years we have take the loan, for years, months, or days. So we'll discuss example. 1080 rupees invested for 3 months gave an interest for rupees 27. The simple interest of the rate of interest per annum was. So here we have given time period, principal, and interest, and we have to find rate. So here we have a formula as we discussed. Simple interest is equals to PRT upon 100. Interest is given 27. Principal is 1080. Rate of interest we have to find that, and time period is 3 months. So for finding so here 3 months is time period, and in formula we have given time period in years. So for that we have to divide 3 by total number of years, total number of months in the year. So for that we have to do 3 by 12, that is 1 by 4. So the final outcome will be 27 is equals to 1080 into rate of interest into 3 by 12 upon 100. And after 2700 into 12, 2700 is equals to 12 90 into R into 3. 2790 into 3 is equals to R. So after calculating this value, we will get 10%. So rate of interest is 10%. Second example, a man borrowed rupees 8,000 from a bank at 8% per annum. Find the amount he has to pay after 4 years. Here the data is very simple. 4 years is time period, 8% is rate of interest, and rupees 8,000 is principal, as I mentioned in solution. Simple interest formula PRT upon 100. After calculating simple interest, we will get simple interest rupees 2,880. And there is a small formula for amount, that is amount is equals to principal plus interest. Here the principal is 8,000 and interest is we calculated 2,880. After adding principal and interest, we will get amount. So we further we proceed to compound interest. What is compound interest? It is the interest paid on the original principal amount and the accumulated past interest. So simple interest and compound interest are very different. So for compound interest, we have formula amount is equals to principal into 1 plus r that is 100, r upon 100 raised to n, where p is principal, r is rate of interest, and n is number of years. This is formula for amount, and formula for compound interest is equals to amount minus principal, as I mentioned here. And let's solve example. Find compound interest on rupees 50,000 at 12% per annum for 1 year, compounded half yearly. So here the data is simple. 50,000 is our principal, 12% is rate of interest, and 1 year is compounded half yearly, means 1 year is our time period. So as I write here the formula for compound interest, amount is equals to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. There is a point to remember in compound interest. If we have to say find compound interest half yearly, so we have to divide the rate of interest by 2, means we have to take half of rate of interest, and we have to double the time period. So here I did r by 2 and 2n, r by 2 and 2n. So after calculating compound interest, we will get 6,180 and amount 56,180. And after subtracting amount with principal, we will get 6,180. Next example, find compound interest for principal 10,000, time period 3 years, and rate of interest is 10%. So this is very simple question where 10,000 is principal, 3 years is time period, and rate of interest is 10%. After calculating, will get amount is 13,310 rupees, and compound interest is 3,310. So let us discuss differences of simple interest and compound interest. In simple interest, interest for all years is same. So simple interest we have to pay if a man taking 100 rupees as principal and he's paying 10% interest for 1 year. So he have to pay 10 rupees as interest. And for second year, he have to pay interest on 100 rupees only. But the case in simple compound interest is different. If man is taking 100 rupees as principal, paying 10% rate of interest, and for 1 year, so in first year the simple interest and compound interest rate will be same, but after second year a man have to pay rate of interest for 110 rupees. In second year man have to pay 121, and it goes on. So comparatively, if we are taking money or we are taking money on compound interest, it will be more costlier as compared to simple interest. So let's discuss differences. In simple interest rates for all years is same, and in compound interest for all years is different, as I mentioned here. For first year, the rate of interest is 110, second year 121, so all the years is different. Formula as I discussed, PRT upon 100, and for compound interest, amount is equals to principal plus 1 upon 1 plus r upon 100 to the power n. And interest is on principal amount only. And in compound interest is on previous interest as well as the principal amount. Means interest will be on 110 rupees. On third year, the principal will be 121, and it goes on. But in simple interest, the principal will be 100 rupees only. But in compound, it will the principal will be changed. So conclusion or suggestion, I will say it is suggestion. If we have to borrow money, then go with simple interest, because simple interest so less money. And if we have to lend money, means we have to give money to someone, then apply compound interest, because compound interest will be same, more, and in simple interest it will be less. So it's my conclusion or suggestion. So thank you.